Whiskers has always been a little dramatic, but this is something else. Every single night, without fail, he stations himself in front of the basement door like a tiny, furry security guard. He doesn't scratch, doesn't meow, doesn't try to get in. He just sits there, staring, unmoving. His tail flicks in slow, calculated movements. His ears twitch at sounds no one else can hear. It's unnerving, like he's expecting something, or waiting for something to come out. At first, the family laughs it off. He's a cat, they say. Cats do weird things. Maybe he's watching a bug. Maybe he's using his psychic feline powers to detect ghosts. Maybe he's just sitting there because he knows it's freaking everyone out. But then, things start getting weird. He stops sleeping in his usual spots, no longer curling up on the couch or lounging in sunbeams like a normal cat. Instead, he spends every night planted by the basement door, eyes locked, body tense. He refuses to leave, and no amount of treats or coaxing can move him. Then, food starts disappearing. Not whole meals, just small pieces. A chunk of chicken vanishes from a plate. A few missing kibbles from his bowl. Someone's sandwich mysteriously has a bite taken out of it, and no one in the family admits to doing it. At first, they blame each other, but the real culprit leaves tiny, incriminating paw prints leading straight to the basement. That's when suspicion turns into full-blown confusion. And then, one night, when someone tries to pick him up and move him away from the door, Whiskers growls. Not a cute, annoyed cat noise. A low, guttural, almost dog-like growl that makes the hairs on the back of their necks stand up. Whiskers, the softest, most lovable cat in the world, is now defending the basement door like his life depends on it. That's when the unease sets in. What is he guarding? What is he watching? And most importantly, what's behind that door? Now that Whiskers has officially lost his mind, the family starts paying attention. And that's when they realize this isn't new. The signs have been there for weeks, maybe even months. They just weren't looking. For starters, Whiskers isn't just staring at the basement door, he's patrolling it. If someone walks past, he follows them, eyeing them like a suspicious bouncer at an exclusive club. If they so much as touch the doorknob, his pupils blow wide, and his tail flicks like a loaded weapon. Then, there's the food situation. At first, they thought they were just getting careless, misplacing snacks, forgetting how much kibble they put in his bowl. But it's happening too often. Bits of chicken left unattended, gone. A plate of leftovers left on the counter, mysteriously missing a chunk. The most damning evidence? A slice of turkey someone dropped on the floor, and before anyone could pick it up, Whiskers grabbed it and bolted, straight to the basement. That alone is suspicious. Whiskers is a well-fed, spoiled house cat. He doesn't steal food. He demands it, loudly, until someone hands it over. But now he's stockpiling, like he's feeding something. And then the blanket. The family doesn't notice it at first, but one night they realize Whiskers' favorite blanket, the one he drags onto the couch and refuses to share, is gone. They search everywhere, the living room, the laundry, under beds, behind furniture, nothing. Until one evening someone spots a tiny piece of it sticking out from under the basement door. That's when everything clicks. The staring, the food theft, the growling, the blanket. He isn't watching the basement. He's hiding something in it. And that's when the real question hits them. What has this cat been sneaking into the house? That's it. The family has had enough. They are done with Whiskers' basement obsession, his food heists, and his terrifying new habit of growling like a guard dog. Tonight, they're getting answers. The second they crack the basement door open, Whiskers takes off. A blur of fur, gone down the stairs before they can react. They chase after him, flicking on the light just in time to see him vanish behind a stack of boxes. Silence. The air down here is too warm, and something about it feels off. The family hesitates, exchanging nervous glances before inching forward. Slowly, they start moving boxes aside, half expecting to find a crime scene or a portal to another dimension. And then, movement. A tail flicks. A pair of wide, startled eyes gleam in the shadows, and before they can process what they're seeing, a soft, delicate meow cuts through the silence. But it's not from Whiskers. It's from someone else. The family freezes. Tucked into the corner, curled up under a familiar stolen blanket, is another cat. A very pregnant cat. A cat Whiskers has apparently been sneaking into the house, feeding and caring for like some kind of secret double-life family man. The realization hits all at once. He hasn't been watching the basement. He's been protecting it. And just as they start to process this insanity, another sound fills the air, the first tiny, squeaky cry of a newborn kitten. The basement is no longer just a basement. It is a full-blown, hidden maternity ward. And Whiskers is not just a cat anymore. He is a father, a provider, a devoted, secretive, comically dramatic family man who has somehow managed to pull off the greatest heist of all time, sneaking in a pregnant girlfriend and keeping an entire litter of kittens a secret. The family stands there, stunned, as Whiskers casually saunters over to his hidden family, plopping down next to them like he has no idea why everyone is freaking out. The mother cat blinks at them, unbothered, curled protectively around her newborn kittens. There are 5, tiny, wiggling, squeaking proof of Whiskers' double life. The math starts clicking into place, the missing food, the stolen blanket, the bizarre basement stakeouts. Whiskers wasn't just acting strange. He was running an underground operation, and now the family has to deal with it. They stare at their innocent house cat, who just a few weeks ago was lying in sunbeams and knocking cups off the table like a carefree bachelor. Now, he sits proudly next to his unexpected family, tail curled around him like he's been preparing for fatherhood his whole life. The realization sets in. Whiskers wasn't staring at the basement door in fear. He wasn't guarding against an invisible enemy. He was making sure his secret didn't get out. And for a while, he got away with it. But the secret is out now. And judging by Whiskers' completely unbothered expression, he doesn't regret a thing. Whiskers may be perfectly fine with this new reality, but the family, they are not. They just went from having one cat to having a full-blown feline empire overnight. The mother cat, who they now realize has been living rent-free in their basement for weeks, seems completely comfortable, purring as her tiny kittens wriggle around, oblivious to the chaos unfolding above them. Meanwhile, Whiskers stretches out beside her, completely unashamed, like he's just waiting for someone to bring him a celebratory cigar. The family stares at the unexpected mess he has created. What are they supposed to do now? Do they keep the kittens? Do they build Whiskers his own Father of the Year trophy? Do they start charging him rent? Because let's be real, he has been running an entire household inside their house, and they had no idea. Slowly, the shock fades, replaced by helpless laughter. This isn't a horror story. It's a romantic comedy, and Whiskers is the leading man. He somehow pulled off the greatest love story in the history of house cats, a forbidden romance, a hidden family, and a dramatic reveal that no one saw coming. And now they are a multi-cat household, whether they like it or not. Over the next few days, the family scrambles to adjust. They set up a warm, safe space for the mother cat and her kittens, while Whiskers continues his silent victory lap around the house, rubbing against their legs like he didn't just turn their basement into a nursery. The mother cat, now named Luna, slowly warms up to them, and before long, the tiny kittens start wobbling around on shaky legs, turning their once peaceful home into a chaotic, fluffy playground. If the family thought Whiskers would ease back into his old life, they were wrong. Gone is the carefree, troublemaking cat who spent his days napping in sunbeams and knocking things off tables for sport. Whiskers has fully embraced his role as a father. He's constantly hovering over the kittens, watching their every wobbly step like an overprotective soccer dad. If one of them so much as squeaks too loudly, he's there in an instant, licking its tiny head and shooting the family a look that says, "Do something." Luna, the mother cat, seems mildly amused by his newfound devotion, but isn't afraid to put him in his place. When Whiskers tries to climb into the kitten pile, she gently but firmly slaps him in the face. The message is clear. You may have helped with the setup, but I run this household. Whiskers, thoroughly humbled, backs off, but still refuses to go far. He perches nearby, supervising from a safe distance, occasionally sneaking over to curl up beside them when Luna allows it. Meanwhile, the family is still in shock at how fast their home has been taken over. One moment, they had a normal house. Now every surface is covered in kittens, blankets, and tiny food bowls. It's pure, unfiltered chaos. The kittens have zero survival instincts. One gets stuck in a shoe, another somehow climbs onto the couch and immediately forgets how to get down. They meow constantly, tumble over each other, and occasionally just fall asleep mid-play, as if their batteries suddenly ran out. And Whiskers? He loves every second of it. He follows them around, chirping like he's narrating their every move, proudly showing off his tiny army of chaos. He has gone from a sneaky double-life cat to a full-blown, unapologetic family man. And, judging by the smug look on his face, he wouldn't change a thing. For weeks, the family thought Whiskers was just being weird. A cat with a bizarre obsession, a little too much attitude, and a habit of stealing food. But what they didn't realize was that they weren't dealing with just any cat. They were dealing with a hopeless romantic. While they were wondering why food kept disappearing, he was bringing dinner to his secret girlfriend. While they joked about his late-night basement stakeouts, he was protecting the love of his life. And when the truth finally came out, Whiskers wasn't embarrassed. He stood proudly beside Luna and his new kittens, because this was his family, and he knew exactly what he was doing all along. Whiskers wasn't just a cat. He was a devoted partner, a loving father, and possibly the greatest feline romantic of all time. Because in the end, this wasn't just a story about a cat acting strange. This was a love story. And if you enjoyed this one, make sure to subscribe for more unbelievable animal stories. Who knows, maybe your pet has a secret life too. Let us know in the comments if your cat has ever done something suspicious. And as always, thanks for watching.